Hey everybody, it's day number 209 of quitting alcohol. I mentioned in yesterday's video that when I would rev up my Bronco, I was getting a little bit of a squeal, and sure enough, it was the alternator belt. Just loosened the alternator with a couple of bolts, used a pry bar to put some tension on it, and then retighten the bolts against the alternator and the belt there. And sure enough, rev it up now, no more squeal. A couple other projects we're working on. We're actually converting our 1989 FJ62 Toyota Land Cruiser from an automatic transmission, which is what they came from the factory, over to a manual 5-speed. It gives that inline 6 motor just a little bit more pep, having those extra gears and not getting that power drain from an automatic by going to a manual transmission. So I had to source all kinds of parts for this conversion from all over the place. And one place we got some parts from, I found this, for lack of a better term, some hillbilly in Tennessee that has a wrecking yard with a bunch of these FJ60 and FJ62 Land Cruisers. And he sent me some parts that were covered in a lot of surface rust. So I've spent the day with a wire wheel, grinding on those. I'm going to reverse the camera here. Yeah, so that's a cross member for the transmission underneath. That's from an FJ60, and since I'm going to a manual transmission, I need that cross member there for the transmission. And then those are the pedals for the pedal bucket. One's for the brake and clutch, obviously. And anyway, they were just covered in surface rust, so I had to prime them, or wire wheel them, get all the rust off. Now prime them. I'm going to paint them black, but just an extra process because this guy sent me some kind of iffy parts. But I guess that's what you get when you get used parts. Here's the angel wings that my wife has been painting. They're coming along pretty good, so that's going on there. And then a couple other parts I had to order for this conversion is a tunnel cover for the transmission with some shift boots. And then there's the pedal bucket. Some people call it a pedal bracket for those pedals to mount up underneath the steering column by the firewall. So reverse the camera here again. So yeah, just keeping busy with projects in the shop and having a good time doing it. And that's what I wanted to talk about today, was having fun after quitting alcohol, because I think a lot of us feel like we're never going to have fun again once we put down the booze. And that's just not the reality. I found that I'm enjoying life a lot more, having a lot more fun. I have a lot more spring in my step, more energy to do things. And alcohol drinking is not fun. I've mentioned before, if you were to just sit into a white 10 by 10 room with a chair in the middle of it and just sit there with nothing around you and drink your alcohol, is that fun? Is alcohol bringing you some type of fun? And the answer to that question is no. I'd be pretty miserable if I was sitting in a white room with a chair in the middle drinking alcohol. And, the real fun is getting out and doing things, learning things, growing, and, all the money that you're going to save on not drinking alcohol, you can have fun with. The other thing I'm working on right now is I mentioned in some earlier videos that we're trying to plan one last big vacation with our kids because they're 16 and 18, and they're going to get jobs here soon and be out of the house before we know it. So we wanted to do something really fun and nice, and so as one last big family vacation. So I've been planning a trip to, we're either talking about doing a big road trip across the U.S. We've already done something kind of similar to that. So now we're looking at Hawaii because the kids have never been any place tropical. So just kind of looking at different airfare prices and trying to book some places over there. We thought about island hopping once we're there, to go from Maui over to Kauai is probably the two islands we're going to visit. But yeah, so saving money, being able to do things like that, that's funner than sitting in a white room or sitting in my old chair drinking alcohol. And so just understand that it feels that way when you're stuck in that alcohol trap, that you're not going to have fun once you quit drinking, or that you won't know how to socialize. And the reality of the situation is that I think back to my drinking, and I wasn't having any fun. I was just numbing myself from reality and trying to escape from my inadequacies and my anxiety and my boredom. And rather than, looking at my boredom and getting up and finding something productive to do, like the things I'm doing now that I'm really having fun doing, I turned to alcohol for a source of, quote, fun. And in reality, it wasn't fun at all and just led me into a miserable state. So for you newbies out there that are sober curious, or you want to quit drinking but you haven't been able to get past the first few weeks or whatever, just know that as time goes on, you start to find new and better ways of having fun than you ever thought possible, and they're better than anything you could do with alcohol. So that's it for today, guys. If you guys are enjoying these videos, please give them a like, subscribe to the channel if you can, and most importantly, remember, sauce ain't the boss. You are. You guys have a great day.